creating a system that ensures livability for all of Muskegon County residents. That's big. That's audacious. Just think about it. That's the vision of the Livability Lab, creating a system that ensures livability. Not a program, not a task force or a coalition, but a system. We're going to address that system. Welcome to Muskegon County, everyone. I'm Mickey Wallace, and I'm going to share with you the story of Livability Lab, how it came to be, where we are, and where we might be headed. But before we can talk about the lab, we have to first talk a little bit about our beautiful, beautiful area of Muskegon County. You see, if we understand the history, the people, the mindset, it might help to see how all of this comes together. Insert a little fast-paced history segment here. The name Muskegon is derived from an indigenous name meaning marshy river or swamp. The natural resources of Muskegon County are vast, with deep inland lakes adjacent to Lake Michigan, coastal dunes, rich soil for farming, and dense forested land. Nomadic Paleo-Indian hunters passed through the area thousands of years ago. Then came the Hopewellians, and more recently, bands of Ottawa and Potawatomi tribes. French explorers were here in the 17th century, and settlement began around 1837. In 1859, Muskegon County was formed. East Coast businessmen from a variety of backgrounds came seeking their fortunes, joined by immigrants from Canada and Northern Europe. The turn of the century and industrialization brought Southern Europeans, and the war years produced the Great Migration, with large numbers of Southern African Americans moving northward, joined by Mexican Americans and Appalachian peoples, adding to the mixture. The result is a rich, diverse culture through this influx of forward-thinking entrepreneurs, investors, and working-class folks looking for better opportunities for themselves and their families. This imagination for potential has endured in a place that at any given time in history ranges from once having more millionaires per capita than anywhere else in the U.S. to an important manufacturing and shipping center on the Great Lakes. From struggling with post-industrial transitions common in the Midwest to many phases in between, including the recent trajectory of growth and investment. There's always reason to celebrate and always room for improvement. Maybe that's exactly why Muskegon remains confident yet humble about its unique culture and perspective. Existing through time, carried forward by generations, it seems a deep appreciation for a better quality of life permeated the community and became embedded in the DNA, remaining through the years of boom and bust and rebirth. Muskegon County is known for its entrepreneurial grit, commitment to community investment, and down-to-earth, blue-collar roots. The determination helped create a genuine combination of unpretentious sophistication that likely fuels our ongoing spirit of pushing boundaries from deep within. So you can see, here in Muskegon County, we've proven that we have the perseverance, the know-how, the work ethic, the diversity, the resources, the heart, and the audacity to adapt and achieve. Now, we talked about Muskegon County. Let's bring this thing around and take a look at how the Livability Lab came to be. Now, we do have a little background history on this one too, so roll it. With all the feedback, the lessons learned, and the momentum toward continuing the work, we were well on our way and ready to apply it all to Livability Lab 2.0. And then COVID hit. Health concerns were a top priority. The schools were closed, businesses closed, many jobs were lost. And the design team, as with so many other organizations, took a pause and pivoted to address a global crisis. Understanding that the cross-sector communications network created during Livability Lab could be useful here, together with the information flow from the CCL that could identify those community resources and relief help, the team began disseminating vital information. At the same time, the needs of the community were quickly changing. And as champions for the resident voice in the decision-making process, the team began surveying the community and sharing the new data with our cross-sector partners, so the relevant needs could be met. Then tragedy struck again when the murder of George Floyd happened. Our world was rocked immediately and forcibly. Systemic racism was now widely acknowledged as a public health threat. The disparities impacting the African American community are profound, and this needs to be called out for what it is. So as the days and the weeks passed, the residents of Muskegon County organized and rallied and pushed through to difficult times to care for our loved ones, to support our community, and to speak for a better way forward for our oncoming generation. By the early summer, we checked back in on those challenge teams, how they were doing. Was their work still needed to be done here? Were they wanting to continue in some way? And for many, that answer was yes. It would look a little different, right? It would need new data to reflect the changes in our communities. But the Muskegon County grit was definitely coming through. We needed to get back to work, now more than ever. Coaches and community conveners were brought back in. The 19 merged teams were in their relevant livability element groups, and the launch day for a 45-day challenge was set. We needed to take that first step, to get back to action and to build a bridge to recovery. And due to COVID, we need to do much of it virtually. On August 11, 2020, Livability Lab 2.0 launched, and we had over 85 attendees in the virtual session. We heard from members of the core leadership team as they reflected on Livability Lab past, present, and future. We heard from special guest speakers about how COVID and racial inequity impact the community. We reviewed the new data collected from the community surveys and adopted a new process, the 5 R's, that help incorporate these community conditions into the previous framework and process as we do the work. Relief, recovery, retool, reform, reflect. Breakout sessions gave the merged teams a chance to discuss common goals and develop action steps to reach one significant step forward by the 45-day mark. Livability Lab 2.0 45-Day Challenge Celebration Day, September 29, 2020. We bring the 45-day challenge to a close and celebrate the wins reported by the 5 livability element groups: education, health, safety and security, economic opportunity, social connection and trust. Their reports are posted at livabilitylab.com. Be sure to read through them for all of the details. Congratulations, teams. We look forward to hearing more about the 45-day challenge process, what you learned, and where you see the work going from here.